that we actually have to pay dues to be volunteers. You know, it was founded in 1929 as a volunteer organization because there was a lot of discrimination. And these were professionals, really, and they were from Corpus Christi, from the Valley, and from San Antonio. And it was 3 organizations that came together to form the League of United Latin American Citizens, Lulac. And it's a civil rights organization, but it's a community organization that whenever there's a need, we advocate that there be no discrimination. We advocate for the civil rights and human rights of everyone, not necessarily just Latinos. We're for everyone. It did start with Latinos here, with the Mexicano-Americanos, but everyone is invited to join Lulac. You want to make a difference for a better quality of life in our communities. And that's what is important, you know, that we volunteer to ensure that we as Latinos are treated with respect and dignity and in a fair and just manner.
There's no doubt about it. You know, when we were on the FM radio and we were working for the big conglomerate corporate radio stations, and they told me that if you're going to be working with us, then you can't get all Cesar Chavez, get all political, get all, you know, we don't want some kind of radical, you know, raising hell around here. We got to think about our other audience, which is the blacks, the whites, not just the Mexicans. And I looked at him and I said, I can't talk about Cesar Chavez. I mean, he's a civil rights leader. He didn't just fight for Latinos. He fought for anybody. People that were working in poor working conditions. He did so much for so many people. The same way Martin Luther King did so much for us. You know, and I just don't see why, you know, Cesar Chavez is just known for that for some people. I guess they don't really look at the big picture. And that's more or less what Lulac is. And even going to what you've gone through from that small town of San Antonio, Texas, to where you are now. What did you ever see yourself years later and imagine that you can be the president of Lulac and win all these prestigious awards, the Cesar Chavez Justice Award and the GI Forum Leadership Award, the Lulac Woman of the Year Award, all of these things, all of these accolades that you've succeeded. Did you ever think you can be in this situation?
I'll be honest with you. I was born and raised in San Antonio, but I did leave 5 years to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I did attend the University of Michigan. And that's where, you know, I used to be very timid and shy. That's where, you know, I started seeing there was a need for activism to bring just changes, not asking for opportunity, you know, not asking for any differential treatment or special treatment, just to give us that opportunity. So when I returned back to San Antonio, the other lady that wears the hat tells me, join Lulac. And I said, Lulac? No, you know, I want something more, you know, activism. And she said, an organization is what you make of it. And that's true. We use Lulac to bring about changes in a positive manner. You know, we don't want to, you know, go out there and just be radicals or whatever. We know what to do. And that's why it's so important that we organize ourselves and get out to vote. Education is the key to it, to success, like they said. And Lulac, one of its main priorities is making sure that all our community, all our Latinos, and everyone else, brown, black, all races, you know, get a good education. And that's why we have some 17 learning centers that do counseling and mentoring for our kids to stay in school and prepare them for college. We also have 57 literacy centers that were funded by AT&T to also mentoring, counseling, ensuring that our kids stay in school. Because, you know, as we become the #1 minority, we have to have an educated population.
Which we hit a milestone, and that of course is the news of Sonia Sotomayor. That I'm glad to say that on the AM station they're bashing her left and right. They don't even know how to pronounce her name. But here on homiesradio.com we do. Sonia Maria Sotomayor. That is her name. And of course with Barack Obama, you know, nominating Judge Sotomayor and appointed her to the U.S. Supreme Court. That is the highest level for a judge. I mean, are we on our way here or what?
Let me tell you that it is been just a great news to see that the President Obama has nominated her for the highest court in the U.S. Supreme Court. Is in reference to the Latino community. We're in full support of her nomination. She is a well-qualified judge, has more experience than any other judge that has ever been nominated to serve on the Supreme Court. She went to the highest, one of the highest recognized universities, which is, you know, she went to Princeton and Yale. And so we're very proud. She has a very humble beginning, raised by her mother since her father died at 9 years old, who always pushed education, well-educated, on her way. She has a brother that's a physician. But the most important thing, here we have una mujer, una Latina, that is well qualified. No one can take away her experience and her qualifications. And let me tell you that we in Lulac totally support her. We are going to pass resolutions at every state convention and nationally at our national convention in giving the judge, Sonia Sotomayor, our full support.
Great. And you know, it just speaks so much from this young lady because like Rosa said, that she was, her father died when she was 9, raised by her mother. And then she was born in the Bronx. So if you're a young lady that that's feeling sorry for herself, because, you know, I was born and raised in Oak Cliff, you know, my dad, you know, he got locked up, you know, I ain't got no role models, you know. There's always a positive side. There's always somebody that cares. You know, you have to believe that you look at somebody like Sotomayor, which, from what I know here, that she is the first Hispanic justice and the 3rd female justice. I mean, just the 3rd out of the Supreme Court, so which is crazy. And it just, if there's anything that we can do, in your opinion, because I'm listening to all of these, you know, conservative talk shows, and they are just trying to kill her on the radio waves. And Homies Radio will not allow it. We got your back, Sotomayor. What is something that we can do where we can support her and have her back?
Absolutely. Your letters, your emails, your faxes, your telegrams to your congressmen, to your senators in Washington, D.C., telling them that you support the nomination of this inspirational and great role model for all Latinos and Latinas here in the U.S., that you do support her, and ask that the confirmation hearings go quickly, so we can have her in, I believe, by September.
Once again, we want to go ahead and wrap up the interview here, but the last thing I want to ask you, if people want to be more involved, Rosa, what can people do to be more involved with Lulac?
They can join Lulac.
There you go.
Like I said, we're a volunteer organization. We're an advocacy organization, and it's very important. We do have a website. I believe it's Lulac. www.org, okay?
Okay, good.
Give us a call. We have our state director from the state of Texas, Joey Cardenas. We also have a district director here. Lulac is a beautiful organization with networking all the way from the local councils who make this organization as great as it is, as volunteers, all the way up to the national office.